Hello? 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 Hi, everybody. What's up? um, HP Trivia with MuggleCast was this morning. Oh, wow. Dang it. Hey, everybody. How's it going? I'm Sequoia Simone. This is the Fanatical Fix Storytime Livestream. We've got both our authors in his house today, so I'm stoked. I will tell you a little bit about these stories before we get started. But first, hi. Let's get up there, up in the chat. Where are you from? What regional fun fact? What time is it? How you doing? Something else. Australia? What time is it in Australia, Paul? No, thank you, Paul. Thank you. This story is so beautiful. I'm so stoked about it. The Netherlands, Germany, Illinois. Watching your dog. What kind of dog do you have, Skylar? You can drive your car naked in Germany? That's fucking weird, man. That's a good regional fun fact. It's very fun. Nice. Well, there's a lot happening. There's lots of you. Nice. That's also a good Australian regional fun fact. Going outside was life-threatening before COVID-19. I've heard. I've heard. A kitten? You put a kitten to bed? What's the kitten's name? Skylar, that sounds like a cute dog. Oh, your car's your property. So therefore you're allowed to be naked in it. I mean, checks out. Your dog's name is Thundercat? Incredible. It's 8 p.m. in Ireland, and you have 3 dogs, and it's raining. The sky keeps telling me it's gonna rain, and I don't believe. It hasn't happened yet, but today's episode was iconic. Here's the thing. Our lovely patrons today they got the episode one day early at midnight. Then we had book club a couple hours ago, and now they have this. There's a lot happening. Today is action packed. But yeah, tomorrow's episode, if I do say so myself, I'm getting a hang of editing together our separate audio stuff because this is new. We've never recorded like this. I've never edited like this. So I feel like we're getting into the groove a little bit more. Thank you. My glasses are very cute. They're blue light. I don't need glasses, but I have these blue light glasses now because I now spend I used to go to work for 12 hours a day and now I don't anymore. So now I spend 10 to 12 hours a day staring at screens, which no matter what research says that cannot possibly be good for you. There's no way that's good for you. So I got these and now I wear these all day. And I like them. Yes, today's a beautiful day to be a patron of FF. It's true. It's true. You know what? Here's the thing, JD, you and Alex don't need money for Patreon. You are celebrities. You're FF celebrities. Here's the thing, you guys. The second story I'm going to read today had an author's note when sent to me that said, "This is for JD." Which immediately I was like, I know exactly what I'm getting in this shit. Whew, I'm stoked. Excellent. I'm glad that you guys are like yours, blue light glasses, because I spent a lot of money on these and then was like, are those real? So, yeah. 3 rat babies named Andromeda, Bellatrix, and Narcissa. Nice. Solid. I love that you guys already know. It's great. This is so I love the community and the shared canon that we've just built here. All right. Here's the thing, you guys. It's time. I do like how chatty we are today, though. Like there's an energy. There's an energy today that I'm digging. Your car is named Andromeda. My car is named Nymphadora. So we're all doing a great job, is what I'm saying. Yeah, we are chatty chat today. This is great. Honestly, I love it. I love it. I'm feeling it. What if I just keep snapping? See, the viewer numbers keep going up. I don't want to start until everyone's here, until everyone's ready, because I'm so excited. No, I call her Dora. It's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. Yeah, JD, I don't know when you chose Cho at random and Cedric's ghost. I don't know if you fully understood that we were just going to pull you in and make that your thing. Sorry. Am I sorry? No, I'm not. No, I take that back. I'm not sorry. I am not sorry. Okay. Am I ready? I'm ready. The numbers keep going up. I don't want to get started until everyone's here. Okay. So what I'll start out with is I'm going to tell you what's happening here today on the Storytime live stream. I am reading to you 2 stories that were submitted to our Patreon Discord writing competition. So we just ended a writing competition like a week ago, a little over 2 weeks ago, whatever. We just finished a writing competition. So the writing competition prompts were that the main character had to be a Hufflepuff or a Ravenclaw from Harry's year that was not, I think we said that was supposed to be like not certain people. It just had to be like a side character, Hufflepuff or Ravenclaw, basically. And then it needed to have a cup of tea in it. But most importantly, they needed to listen to or sing a Muggle pop song. And oh my God, we got like 20 submissions. I loved these, every single one of them. So we'll probably end up doing these for a couple of live streams because basically everybody said that I could read them on the live stream, and I'm real stoked about it. But another good thing about this experience is that I made a playlist. I mean, look at me. I had to. It's who I am. I made a playlist of all the songs used in the writing competition fan fictions. So I will drop that link. In fact, I'm going to do it right now. I'm going to do it right now, real quickly. Anyway, this was a super fun writing competition, and it And it made for some really silly fan fictions, and it made for some really sweet fan fictions. So I'm really happy to be reading to you today something sweet and something silly. Um, and here's that playlist for you. I can't stop with I really here's the thing, guys, I really love music a lot, and I have to express that somehow, some way. So here we go. Okay, so here we are. I've just spent 10 minutes saying some bullshit, and now we're going to read some fan fiction. I'm going to start out with Stone Floor for Two by Uncle Aragog78, who is Paul, who's here in the chat with us today. So, as per usual, make sure that you are being uplifting. Sorry, there's stuff on my feet. Make sure that you're being uplifting. All right, excellent. I'm ready. Here we go. Here we go. She watched as the party went on around her. Plates were being carelessly tossed about the room, and more than a few steak knives had recently joined the fray. It had been awfully good of the house elves to give them unfiltered access to the kitchens. They only used the space for special occasions, careful not to abuse the privilege. Wrinkling her nose at the complete lack of judgment on display, she seriously entertained the idea of returning to her dormitory so she could study. Parties just weren't her thing. Growing up in the muggle world, she had refused to ever celebrate her birthday or participate in a, what did they call it? Sleepover. It had all amounted to noise without substance, a complete and utter waste of time. The unpleasantness of it all had tinted her childhood with sour impressions of her parents, leaving only a collection of bitter memories. All she could remember were the fights with her family and never having any friends. The one source of happiness she'd clung to was being in her room. The silence and serenity of night would wash over her, tainted only by the flashing lights and thumping bass of the dance club near her house. The battered old radio beat back the angry sounds, and she was seldom seen without it. The music flowed from the tiny headphones, delivering a sense of peace and warmth that never failed to improve her mood. It always seemed to work, even though her father swore the batteries had died long ago. Unsurprisingly, she never had many friends. Her anxious, bookish ways had not left much room for other people. She swore to herself that Hogwarts would be different. She had finally made sense of the strange things that had always seemed to happen around her. The way she'd managed to tune out loud noises when they were about to overwhelm her, or how stray cats and dogs seemed to know when she was feeling especially low. She liked animals. With the faded leather taking up permanent residence on her person, the girl had finally begun to understand her true self. Leaving the Muggle world behind, the Hogwarts Express whisked her away from the only life she had ever known. That had been 2 years ago. And now she was here. The girl had nothing to show for it except placement in a house that nobody respected and an existence plagued by crippling loneliness. People were running around and screaming, but she had tuned out the din with mental blocks developed through a lifetime of practice. The girl supposed she couldn't blame them. It was hardly fair to expect a normal gathering of Hufflepuff's first a normal gathering after Hufflepuff's first Quidditch victory in Merlin knew how many years. She only wished it didn't have to be so loud and hazardous to her health. She had been forced to banish more than a few pieces of cutlery as they flew right at her head. That was, of course, the point of their game, but she found no joy in it. Allowing a heavy sigh to pass her lips, the girl stood. Pushing back her nearly untouched plate of food, she exited the spacious kitchen and into the corridor beyond. She ignored Ernie's indignant yelp, ordering her to come back, knowing that they really didn't want her. Who did? Since the sorting 2 years ago, no one outside her house had ever spoken her name. She wasn't a brave and fiery Gryffindor like Harry Potter or dazzling beauty like Cho. She wasn't even an antagonistic git like Malfoy. She was nothing. Hey, said a small voice from somewhere nearby. The girl jumped, completely taken aback by the presence of another person. Only Hufflepuffs spent time around here, and they were all inside. Hi, she said uncertainly, looking around for the speaker. It was dark. The charms that lit the torches in this area of the castle had never been refreshed. What are you doing here? She had meant to ask the question kindly, like a friendly Hufflepuff would, but it came out more like a territorial bark, an accusation. Something that vaguely resembled a gulp rang out into the oppressive silence. Drat. She had really bungled things up if her companion couldn't even speak. Sorry, she said, attempting to remedy the situation. I just came out of a party. My ears are ringing a bit. There was a lot of yelling. She tacked on a sad little laugh at the end, hoping it wasn't as pathetic as it sounded in her head. Oh, it's all right, replied the stranger. She could hear the relieved smile spreading across their face and the sigh they couldn't completely repress. I was I was just trying to find somewhere quiet. There's a lot of banging in my dormitory. What house are you in? The girl asked, unable to quash her curiosity. Gryffindor, said the stranger, not sounding particularly happy about it. The girl made a sympathetic noise. Well, I'm sorry about what happened today. I guess we both prefer a calm environment after something like that. Definitely, agreed the stranger. She could almost hear their vigorous nodding. In, it's okay. Hardly your fault. Their tone was gruff, but she could feel their gratitude through the bravado. I hate crowds, he added as an afterthought. Me too, the girl exclaimed, liking the stranger more and more. What's your name? Neville, he said. Neville Longbottom? You? I'm Hannah Abbott, the girl replied. You won the House Cup in first year, right? Anyway, fancy going somewhere we can actually see each other? Sure, replied Neville, his breast quickening for a moment. I, I think I remember you from our sorting. She was grateful they were in darkness because the redness coloring her cheeks was mortifying enough without him seeing it. There was no way he actually remembered her, right? She heard him turn and begin to walk away, and she followed. They found themselves in the entrance hall and decided to sit in a quiet corner so they could talk. I'm sure it seems as though I only hang out in silent corners, began Hannah as they got comfortable on the stone floor. But I promise I'm more interesting than that. I like music. Me too, said Neville. I don't know any bands or anything, though. I just listen to what Gran plays on her wireless. Hannah smiled at the boy. Can I show you one of my favorite songs? They're a muggle band, but I think you'll like it. Sure, said Neville, but how are you going to play it? I don't think muggle stuff works in Hogwarts. Do you really think us half-bloods haven't figured something out yet? Asked Hannah, grinning up at him. One of the seventh years gave me this. It's a portable music player that doesn't interfere with Hogwarts magic. I just need to wind it up every night, and it works like a charm. What kind of charm?" Neville asked, looking confused. "No, it's a Muggle phrase," replied Hannah, giggling. "Tea?" asked Neville, reaching into his bag. His cheeks were only a little pink. "Sure," said Hannah. A few seconds passed before the meaning of this question registered. "Wait, don't tell me you carry around a teapot in your book bag." She covered her mouth with both hands, unable to restrain further giggles. "Oh, well," Neville replied, looking sheepish, "Gran gave it to me. Tea usually calms me down when I get stressed out, and you never know when you're going to make a new friend." The laughter died in her throat. That had been a terrible thing to say. She was blushing again, and this time there was no way to hide her face. However, if the boy had noticed, he didn't let it show. She turned away and began looking for something in her robes with far more enthusiasm than was necessary. A light tap on the girl's shoulder interrupted her floundering fingers. Neville pushed a steaming mug into her trembling hands, and she accepted it gratefully. She took a few cautious sips and immediately felt better. The hot liquid sailed down her throat in a familiar way that created a sense of security and warmth. The pair shared a smile as Hannah finally found what she had been looking for. She extracted a silver instrument from a deep pocket and pressed a small button along its edge. Immediately, it started emitting a series of notes that made both children close their eyes in contentment. The song's introduction played for a while, easing Hannah's tense muscles and whirling thoughts. She lost herself in the music, allowing the breezy, semi-acoustic guitars to transport her somewhere far away, somewhere easy and inconsequential, where she might actually matter to someone. "It's beautiful," whispered Neville, oblivious to the weird looks his reverent tone awarded. Hannah nodded silently in response, not wanting to interrupt the song. The song that is playing is Under the Bridge by the Red Hot Chili Peppers. The words fell on them like wildfire, coursing through their veins with a clarity that outshone the sun. The pair could not speak, so transfixed were they by the music as it continued. Though she was already intimately familiar with the song, it still managed to elicit a powerful response from deep within her. Cracking open one eye, she saw a big dumb grin on Neville's face, indicating that he was also enjoying the experience just as much. They listened to the song in its entirety without saying a word. A few passers-by had paused to listen to the song, but were in too much of a hurry for a prolonged stay in their company. The pair sitting on the cold, hard floor paid the other students no mind. Their attention was captured completely by the small music player. "That was," began Neville, but he could not continue. "I know," said Hannah. He understood it like she did now. "It's perfect," muttered the boy, unable to articulate further. "And they're a Muggle band? What do you think it's about?" "I think it's about belonging and trying to find your way back home." "I like that," said Neville, nodding slowly. They sat there for a long time, numb to the world chugging along behind them. They just sipped their tea until the mugs were dry and empty in their warm hands. "Guys," asked a slightly concerned voice, "are you two all right?" Hannah and Neville jumped, scrambling to their feet as Hermione looked on, bewildered at the bizarre scene before her. "It's time for dinner," she said slowly, as if explaining herself to a particularly clueless pair of dogs. Come on, Neville. Her gaze passed over Hannah like she wasn't there. Not out of malice or spite, Hannah knew. She just didn't stand out. That Hufflepuff girl who sits next to so and such, if she was lucky. I'll meet you inside, Neville told Hermione. The girl shrugged and joined the procession of students piling into the great hall. Thank you for this, Hannah, he said, pointing at the round contraption. I want to know what other songs you like. Hannah smiled and returned his mug, resisting the urge to hug him. Knowing her luck with things like that, she would probably step on his toe or accidentally break one of his ribs in her excitement. I'd be happy to show you. Want to meet up in the library on Wednesday? That sounds great, said Neville, beaming. He turned and walked toward the great double doors leading into the great hall. Hannah stowed the instrument back in her robes and followed, unable to wipe the stupid grin off her face. The end. Yay! I love that story. I love that story a lot. It's very, very good. Love myself some Hannah / Neville cuteness. Excellent. And now I'm going to follow up that nice, heartwarming piece of cuteness with this thing that Aaron did to us. Yes, and now for something completely different. I'm structuring these so that we get some of what has been done. Okay, excellent. Thank you very much for that story, Paul. I love that story a lot. And here we go with our next story. This is by Aaron, also here in the chat. So remember to be nice. This is called Thoughts and Screeches, and it has an AN that says this one is for JD. And here we go. Wait, no, I gotta take a drink of water. Who am I? Who do I think I am? What do I think is happening? Okay. Okay. Now I can start. Okay. Squeals of laughter assaulted Anthony's ears as a group of girls took another round of fire whiskey shots in the living room of his flat. He didn't care for the taste, preferring the sweeter drinks at the Muggle Gay Bar where they would be heading shortly for karaoke night. It was Cho's 20th birthday, and she had wanted to do something silly and unexpected. Marietta, Cho's best friend, had mentioned once that Cho loved to sing. So here they were, pre-gaming at Anthony's place. Anthony! Padma shouted across the room, an empty shot glass in hand. Have a shot with us! Yeah, come join in the fun, chimed in Katie, her arm wrapped around her girlfriend Leanne's waist. That stuff is disgusting, Anthony replied with a grimace. I'll wait until we get to the bar. Besides, someone has to make sure we get there in one piece. Anthony didn't drink that often, as it made his ability to suppress his legilimens difficult. His great-aunt, Queenie Goldstein Kowalski, had been born a natural with legilimens. Oh my gosh. Whoa. And the ability had been passed down to him. Although his family kept telling him it was a wonderful gift to have, he had learned the hard way not to let anyone know about his power. No one wanted a friend who could read your thoughts. His childhood had been rather lonely. He'd been anxious to get to Hogwarts because he had read that Rowena Ravenclaw had been a natural legilimens. Although his great-aunt Queenie was still alive, albeit quite old, she lived in America, which made it difficult for her to teach him about their gift. So after he was sorted into Ravenclaw, he sought out the portrait of Rowena and asked if she would give him private lessons. Now, he could easily block out everyone's thoughts as long as he had a clear, unaltered mind, meaning no alcohol. The bar they were going to was one of Anthony. The bar they were going to was one Anthony went to more than he would care to admit. He enjoyed the muggle atmosphere, where he knew he wouldn't be judged, and he sometimes put a toe into a moral gray area by using his legilimens to pick up guys. Are you guys ready? If we don't leave soon, we won't be able to get on the karaoke list, Anthony said, sounding slightly exasperated. Just one more shot, Cho yelled. To me, the fabulous birthday girl. The girls lifted their glasses in the air and yelled, To the birthday girl! And drowned their shots. I have a feeling I'm going to regret organizing this night, Anthony mumbled to himself. The passage of time. 15 minutes later, all 6 of them were walking through the brightly colored doors of Plush. Amazing. They handed over slips of blank paper to the bartender while Anthony discreetly confronted him so he would think he was looking at Muggle IDs. Everything seems to be in order, the bartender said after a few moments. What will it be for you? A round of Cosmos, please, Anthony said, knowing the girls might not be familiar with Muggle drinks. Coming right up. If you want to take a table, your drinks will be brought over to you. Marietta grabbed Cho's hand and skipped towards a table next to the stage. Everyone followed and sat down, looking excited, except Anthony, who half-heartedly smiled. So, how does this work? Leanne asked Anthony. Well, he started, pulling the binder on the table toward him. You look through this list of songs and choose one to sing. Write it down with your name and take it up to the DJ. They'll call your name when it's your turn, and then you just sing what's on the prompter. There'll be music so you can get a gist of the tune to sing along to. Cho grabbed the binder and started flipping through it. Here are your drinks, said a voice from behind them. Anthony looked up and saw the bar's most gorgeous waiter. Thanks, he said, smiling a bit foolishly. When he turned back to the table, he saw Katie wiggling her eyebrows suggestively at him. Rolling his eyes, he turned to Cho. Is anything catching your eye? He asked. Not yet, she replied slowly, her eyes scanning the pages. Oh my God, this is perfect! She hurriedly scribbled something on a piece of paper and rushed to the DJ. Any idea what she chose? Padma asked Marietta. No, I didn't get a chance to see what she wrote, Marietta said. This drink is delicious, Anthony. What's in it? I actually don't know, he said sheepishly. I just know it's called a Cosmo, and I like it. A passage of time. After a few more rounds of Cosmos, Anthony could feel his control of his legilimens slipping. At that point, the DJ called Cho's name. She jumped out of her chair and headed to the stage. Give it up for Cho Chang, who will be singing Mariah Carey's hit song, Always Be My Baby. Anthony groaned inwardly. You've got to be kidding me, he thought to himself. She still isn't over Cedric? That was years ago. Gosh, she's beautiful. I wonder if I should tell her how I feel tonight. Anthony suddenly heard Padma's thoughts slipping through the cracks in his mental wall. Crap, he thought, and tried to shove her voice out of his mind. The music started, and Anthony was not prepared for what came next. Cho's voice screeched like nails on a chalkboard. He attempted to block it out, but that proved to be too difficult, especially as she got to the chorus and sang even more emphatically. Anthony didn't want to listen to Cho butcher such a beautiful song, so he lowered his mental wall for a little and focused on the other's thoughts. Unfortunately, everyone at the table, and the whole bar for that matter, seemed to be thinking about how horrible Cho sounded. Everyone except Marietta, that is. She's so perfect. I wish we could go back to how we were in fourth year. Almost girlfriends. We had so much fun. Maybe if I could just kiss her tonight, we could try again, but for real this time. Unsure how to handle this new information, Anthony hastily tried to put his mental wall back up. He screwed up his face in concentration, trying to block out the dying animal noises coming from Cho's mouth. Sensing a presence before him, he opened his eyes to see a cup of tea on the table in front of him. He looked up, and there was the gorgeous waiter from earlier. You look like you could use this, the waiter said with a knowing smile. It's just Earl Grey, I promise. Thanks. I do believe I could do with some sobering up, Anthony replied, smiling back. Hey, this is kind of forward, but my shift ends soon, the waiter said, looking nervous. Do you maybe want to get out of here? Anthony couldn't believe his luck. An extremely delectable guy wanted him? At that point, his mental walls were so rudely assaulted by Cho's sobbing inner voice. Diggy, I miss you so much. Sorry, Anthony said, trying to convey his disappointment. I really should sober up and take care of my friends. No worries, I get it. Another time, perhaps? The waiter asked with a hopeful smile. Definitely, Anthony replied. I'm Anthony, by the way. Ricky, the waiter responded. Pleased to meet you. See you around. Anthony turned back to the stage, feeling giddy, just as Cho sang the last lines of the song. We will always be, my dear Cho, Anthony heard in his mind, but strangely, it sounded like an echo. He suddenly realized it sounded like whenever he heard the Gray Lady's thoughts. Feeling alarmed, Anthony looked around the bar. He caught a glimpse of a translucent figure in a far corner and barely managed to make out his face right before it disappeared. Holy shit! Anthony exclaimed. That's the end. You like get in Ghost Cedric right at the end. Diggy, Cho. Incredible. Incredible. Thank you for that, Aaron. I ship Anthony / Ricky the Hot Waiter. I don't know if I ship Cho and Marietta or Cho and Padma, but maybe Padma / Marietta is what comes out of that. I'm gonna go for that one. Woo! Cho. Amazing. Thank you so much to Paul for our first lovely, wholesome cuteness, and to Aaron for that crackiness with Cedric's ghost just right there at the end. You just get that in right there at the end. Whew. I really, really love these stories that we got in for our writing competition with the songs in them. I think that they inspired some truly beautiful and some truly weird shit. So, we'll read some more of them. Maybe not next time. I think next time I'm going to make Kim read some of my old garbage, but we will get to more of these. 112%. We will get to more of these. Check out that playlist. I'm going to drop that link again because it's probably way far away now. I'm going to drop that link again. Check out that playlist. It's bonkers. It's bonkers. So, if you have any fan fictions that you wrote and would like to submit to Storytime Livestream, we are looking for stuff that is 5,000 words or less. We are looking for wholesome. We are looking for CLE. You can send those to fanaticalfics@gmail.com. If you're a patron, an episode dropped this morning. If you're not a patron, episode drops tomorrow. Stoked on it. Really like this episode. Let's see what else. Yes, Glitter. If you want to double submit to Storytime. Submit to Yes Glitter. You can do that as well. You should do that as well. You can email your Yes Glitter whatevers into fanaticalfics@gmail.com. And that's done like real soon. I think you only have like 2 weeks left to submit to Yes Glitter. So if you've been thinking about it, if you're like, oh, I'm JD and I've been thinking about this fan fiction and tweeting at them about it, but haven't sent it in yet, then maybe you should finish that and send it in. Yes. Yes, Paul, we did get that. Yeah, we've gotten some crazy Yes, I will. I will clearly always call out JD. It's a part of the podcast now. It's who we are. And then what else? I don't know. That was it. Oh, I'll show you this giant box that I have. This is a giant box. That giant box is full of mailing supplies because I am gonna go mail stuff. I know, but I had to get poster tubes because our $10 patrons are getting that freaking baller ass poster that Alex made. The Weasley and Creevy buddy cop movie poster. And poster tubes are larger than little maily boys. So, that's what's happening. And it's all very exciting and all very good. And I'm so pleased. And I have nothing else to say. I don't know. That's it. That's all I have. Ooh, you bought a shirt and a sticker? Did you buy it in the sale? The TeePublic has a sale every month, which is awesome. Awesome sauce. If you need some Pride merch for your stay-at-home Pride needs, we've got a bunch of all wizards are gay shit up in there. I just ordered. I didn't have a T-shirt of it, so I ordered it during the sale. That's it. That's all I have to say. This is the end of the live stream. Thank you for coming. This was a long one, and rightly so, because those stories needed to be in your ears. Glad I could help. Go check out the playlist. Hypothetically, the next live stream will be next weekend, so we will see you next weekend. It'll hopefully either be Kim or Colin. Bye.